Hello everybody, Luke Gromen, founder and president of Forest for the Trees, FFTT. Wanted to highlight a couple things for you this afternoon as we head into the week and markets open tonight in Asia. First off, hello to everybody, of course, that'll be watching this on replay. In terms of the things that have caught our eye at the end of the week, of course, markets rallied on news that trade talks had been reopened between the U.S. and China late in the week. And it was interesting to watch the reaction, and our thoughts really are twofold, and these are two of the things that have really caught our eye. Number one, there have been, we've noted a number of times that the baseline positions between the U.S. and China are very far apart. We suspect, in summary, China wants/needs to be able to gain control over their own import bill of commodities, and as such, their own control over their own current account, which is recently moving towards or even in a deficit position in the first half of the year for the first time in at least 20 years. And the United States, this is an important political point for them. Ultimately, we have continued to think that a lot of the what are called trade tensions are actually surrounding the structure of the dollar-centric system. And so that brings us to the second thing that really caught our attention in regards to not just the talk of renewed trade talks, but the market reaction, which is this. China's sending a commerce official to talk, and he will be meeting with a counterpart from the U.S. Treasury, David Malpass. Not a Treasury, not someone from the U.S. Trade Representative's office, not somebody from the U.S. Commerce Department, Wilbur Ross, etc. Maybe they weren't. Maybe the more commerce-centric people weren't available. I don't know. I do know that historically the dollar is the purvey of Treasury, and so that is something that is of interest, intense interest to me to see how that develops in terms of these talks. In addition, of course, we've got Jackson Hole meeting coming up this week. Positioning into Jackson Hole is extremely dollar bullish, emerging market risk bearish, commodity risk bearish. We understand why this is the case. That said, given the real risk to those positions, in our view, has been and remain heavily political. And so it is interesting. You do have some important political meetings, not just between China and the U.S., but over the weekend, of course, Vladimir Putin met with Angela Merkel. They were talking about bilateral relations. They were talking about trade relations. They were talking about the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which is a sticking point for the United States. We have written about this in our full-length research a number of different times. Of interest is how Donald Trump told German NATO representatives a month and a half ago that energy trade is very different than normal trade, and that the United States does not like the idea of defending Germany ostensibly against Russia while Germany buys a significant amount of gas from Russia. So those are the couple things we'll be watching for as we go into this. Again, we really think, we see positioning, and it will be very interesting to see how positioning and some of the political developments line up and how they play from here. So with that, I'm going to open it up for questions for a few minutes. Later on today, I'll be heading out to watch a doubleheader, my son's baseball game. So hopefully I have some good highlight videos from that, which are always fun to post and get your feedback on. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to open it up for questions now. All right, let's see here. So far, no questions, so I'll tell you what. We'll talk a little bit there's an interesting article we talked last week about football. There were, in terms of there being some freshman football teams having a little bit of difficulty fielding enough players around here in Cleveland, which is of course less than 50 miles from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's just an article in Wall Street Journal I just retweeted highlighting an interesting op-ed speculating if the NFL has peaked in terms of some of the financial rewards. It was interesting to see after the comment we made last week. At any rate, still not seeing any questions at this point. If we don't have any, we're gonna jump, and we will catch up with everybody soon. Have a great rest of the weekend, and good luck this week. We'll talk soon. Take care.